What's that? A brand new machine next to me? Why, yes it is. My beloved Singer Patchwork Plus machine just came in. I'm so excited to open it up. So I thought this could be a fun little unboxing video, how I get a brand new machine set up, some tools and supplies I like to keep on hand, and kind of just what to expect when you get a brand new machine. I've never sewn on a Patchwork Plus, so I'm really excited to try it out, and I hope you come along for the journey. Also, my name is Jessica. I am one of the Singer ambassadors. I make easy, beginner-friendly sewing tutorials on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All right. Let's get started. When we first open the box, we'll find some paperwork, manuals, things like that. And then tucked into all of the nooks and crannies are different tools, which I'm going to go over all of these later in the video. I'm going to pull my machine out because I cannot wait to see it. And here she is, the Singer Patchwork Plus. She is absolutely beautiful. This machine also comes with an extension table. This is one of my favorite features. So if you pull this little secret compartment off, which by the way, I like to keep all my presser feet in there, you can then fit the extension table on perfectly. And this has a little ruler on it so you can keep different measurements. Also in the box was a little cover for my sewing machine. This keeps your machine nice and protected. Now this little bag of tools. This might look intimidating, but bear with me. This came with a few bobbins. These are class 15 transparent bobbins. That's the size that this machine requires. There's a large spool cap, a small spool cap. This is a little spool pin felt, and this is the auxiliary spool pin. So fun fact, this actually inserts into your machine if you want to use a vertical spool of thread. I usually put mine on horizontal, but it's nice to have the option to use your thread vertically. This is a little lint brush. This is an edge and quilting guide. This is an L screwdriver and a pack of needles. On the back, you'll find the size of the needles. These are 90-14, which are universal size. That's also the size needle that comes on your sewing machine. But if you ever want to change out your needle, you'll just use that little screwdriver and unscrew and change your needle out. Simple as that. Now onto the presser feet. This machine comes with a ton of presser feet. So this is an even feed walking foot. This is great when you're quilting or when you're sewing multiple layers of fabric or slippery fabric. The buttonhole foot sews buttonholes. The button sewing foot sews buttons. The zipper foot is great for sewing perfect zippers every time. This is the blind hem foot. It does just that. It allows you to sew a blind hem. This is a darning and embroidery foot. This allows you to do really fun free motion embroidery. This is an edge joining foot. This allows you to join fabric edges together side by side or for a stitch in the ditch when you're quilting. The open toe foot is great for applying ribbons, yarns, or trims to fabric surfaces. The 1/4 inch foot is for quilting 1/4 inch seam allowances and for sewing really small projects like baby clothes. The satin stitch foot is for sewing decorative stitching or surface embellishments. This is a multi-line and parallel sewing foot. This helps you create parallel rows of decorative stitches that are evenly spaced. And last but not least, the regular presser foot. This one comes on your sewing machine. This is the all-purpose presser foot, and I use it 90% of the time. All right, now let's plug our machine in. This comes with a foot pedal and a power cord, so I'm gonna plug the power cord in and plug it into my machine. And now we can plug our foot pedal in and turn our machine on. And ta-da, there she is. She's on. Now I'm gonna start threading the machine, so I'm grabbing some nice bright colored thread. I'm going to put it on my sewing machine along with my spool cap. And first we need to load a bobbin with thread. So this little map shows us how we need to wind our thread in order to load the bobbin. So I'm going to go around this little hook and around this little spinny guy. And now I'm going to put my thread through one of the holes on my bobbin. And now I'll put it on my machine and turn it to the right. This engages the bobbin winding. This is how our machine knows it's time to wind a bobbin. Now, if you notice, this is going really slow. And that's because this machine actually has a speed dial. This is one of my favorite things about this machine. This applies to while you're sewing too. You can actually make it slower or faster. And once the bobbin's full, it will stop. So we can take it off and trim our thread, and now we have a perfect bobbin. And now we can thread our top thread, and again, these newer machines have a little number system, so we just have to follow the numbers all around the sewing machine. Down 3, around 4, around this little hook on 5. Always making sure it goes into that little hole there. If you can't see that little hook, turn the hand wheel until that hook pops up, and then you know you're threading it into that little hole. Now we're threading down 6, and then I'm flossing it into this big metal hook, and then I'm flossing it into the little metal hook right above the needle, as you can see. And now we just need to thread the needles. So thankfully this machine has an automatic needle threader. You just pull it down. It does take a little bit of practice, but it's super easy. All right, now we can drop our bobbin in. So again, this shows a little map of how to drop your bobbin in. So I'm going to pull the empty one out and put our newly loaded bobbin in. I always like to put mine in the shape of a P. I'll drop it in and then wind it following the arrows, and this clips your thread off at the end and you're done. You don't even need to draw the bottom thread up, it will automatically do it. And we are ready to start sewing. So here you can see it's on the little zigzag straight stitch setting. This is for all of these utility stitches. These are the ones I'm using 90% of the time. You can also switch over to the little star symbol, and this goes for all of the decorative stitches. And then you can switch over to the ABC symbol, and this goes for letters and numbers. And then if you pull out this little secret thing at the bottom, you can see all the different numbers, letters, and symbols. But I'm keeping it easy. I'm just going to a straight stitch. So this is stitch 1, which you can see there is a straight stitch. And this sets your length and width by default. You can change it, but it automatically sets it at default numbers, which is really convenient. I'm going to use a little piece of scrap cotton. Okay, another cool thing about this machine is you can technically use this without a foot pedal. It has a little start and stop button. So instead of pressing on the foot pedal, you can just press start and your machine will start going. And then you can pause and backstitch. I'm gonna be honest, this freaks me out. I'm not very good at this, so I like to use the foot pedal, but still really cool. All right, now I'm getting crazy. I'm trying a decorative stitch. This one has little hearts down here, stitch number 34. So I'm gonna go to 34 and look at it go. It's sewing the cutest little red hearts on my fabric. I love decorative stitches and I don't use them nearly enough. I think this is the cutest stitch I've ever used. How cute is that? Okay, now I'm trying a little zigzag stitch. And did you know there's a little thread cutter on the side of your sewing machine? You just move your thread through this blade and it cuts it. Also on the back of the machine is the drop feed lever. So if you ever want to drop your feed dogs down, you just drop them there. Okay, now I'm trying the extension table. So I'm just sliding it on. I loved having this extra space. I have been getting more into quilting, so I'm really excited to use this extension table for quilting. But honestly, it's just nice to have extra space when you're sewing. Another minor detail that I love about this machine is whenever you finish your seam, the needle is in the up position. So when you get to the end of your seam, you don't have to make sure the needle is up before you pull your fabric out. The needle automatically goes up. I'm telling you, it's the little things. Wow, that was so much fun to open this new machine, try out the new functions and the features. That's what I love about trying out different sewing machines, is they're all so different. Some of them just have these hidden features that other ones don't have. Every machine is so unique and make different parts of the sewing process a little bit easier in different ways. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was fun and informational. I hope you learned a little bit about how to set a new machine up. And there's a lot of crossover between different sewing machines. They do have minor differences or major differences, but for the most part, they're pretty similar when you go to thread them and set them up. And understanding what all the different presser feet are, there's a ton of crossover. So I hope this helped. Definitely check this machine out if you're a beginner or more advanced and you want to grow into different techniques like quilting or embroidery, all those fun things. Again, my name's Jessica Shaw. I post beginner-friendly sewing tutorials on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So go ahead and follow along if you want to learn more. Thanks for watching. Bye!